Today, the Art of Culinary Spaces places its bet on Potawatomi Sportsbook, where a Milwaukee casino doubled down on food service while building an immersive sports betting environment. This comprehensive transformation included converting a theater space, remodeling a sports bar kitchen, and designing multiple beverage stations throughout the venue. Please welcome FCSI member Steve Carlson of Rippey Associates as he reveals how innovative design elements and operational considerations created a winning combination for this entertainment destination. Welcome to today's episode. We're here this week to talk about Potawatomi Sportsbook at the Potawatomi Casino Hotel. For season 3, though, Steve, we're keeping the tradition alive with the same first question we've asked every season, and that is, how did this project come about for you and Rippey Associates?
Well, this was the second project of the $190 million expansion that they had going on, and it was also the second project that we got to work with the I-5 team. They were the architects and design build contractors on that. So
nice.
Yeah.
So do you do a lot of work with them over not only this project, but
Yeah,
others as well?
this was our fourth project actually, and
Okay.
Mike Rossi, the project manager, has got a great relationship with both the I-5 team
Good.
and Ron Hall and Jennifer, the beverage manager. So
Nice.
yeah.
I always like to talk to consultants to figure out, like, where do their leads come from? Everybody, if you want to start your own consulting firm or something, where does business come from? And it's so much repetitive business as we talk to people that those relationships are so important with, architects, KECs, whatever it might be, or the operator itself. Obviously, it's always interesting to see where these come from.
Yeah, it's definitely a relationship business, right? And that's I think we could all, wish we could grow, astronomically, but it's really, you're going to grow at the pace of your relationships. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
So in the beginning, what was the project's timeline, and then also kind of their budget plan? And like I said, in the beginning, we all know it changes over time, but what was it in the very beginning for you guys?
I don't remember the specifics of the project timeline. They're always,
Okay.
and they're, like any casino, this involved taking part of the casino floor offline. So there's always
Yeah.
a great deal of urgency there. It
Right.
was somewhat evolving just because this was, and I think, like it talks about in the article, this area was on a theater that they were
Right.
adapting into a sports book. So there was some really unique structural issues there that did delay the timeline a little bit, just trying to figure out how they're gonna adapt this space from a theater into
Yeah.
a more of a flat floor and expand the existing restaurant.
So let's talk a little bit about that, because not only is this space a theater, but also a former bingo hall within the casino. So, when you're going from a bingo hall to a theater to now a multifunctional entertainment destination, if you will, for people to come to, how did that influence how you and Mike and everybody design this place? Because it's not just it's a much different to come and watch shows or watch the sports and bet and everything else than it is just to sit there and B2, B12, whatever it might be. So,
Right, right. And so the focus of the sports book and the restaurant is that that tiered seating, the big curved screen. I think I looked at the notes. I think it's 2,000 square feet or something. I mean, it's
wow.
amazing. I haven't seen anything like that before. So, you know, so they figured out what they needed for that space, and then say, okay, well, you guys can have this space over here on the side for the kitchen. So I mean, the good news was there was an existing kitchen, and they gave us more space, but but it was a long, narrow space, and we ended up, the interface that we had with the beautiful sports book area was on the short end of a long rectangle. So Mike
Okay.
had to really figure out how to make that work. How do we get in and out of that space? And I mean, there was a lot of. I mean, we're always grateful when we get more space, but it's like like the farmer is waiting for rain, and but you got the rain, but it's not the kind of rain he wants. But
Yeah.
so we gotta. I mean, we had this one of the spaces that we had for the kitchen expansion, if you were, was a triangle. And
Okay.
Mike figured out how to make a triangular dish room work. So
Interesting.
yeah.
Did you have to find any special equipment for that, or was that something that you could kind of piecemeal in what existing stuff was?
Yeah, I mean, it was new, dishwasher, but fortunately with it, with a dish room, most of it's custom fabricated, so you can kind of configure it to go
Yeah.
around the three walls there and still
Okay.
leave some space. There was two existing walk-in refrigerator and freezer. They were outdoors, and easiest solution for that was Mike laid it out. So one of them was the um, beer cooler for the kegs, and the other one was the bottled beer. So that was took advantage of that space. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, so,
Now, you also did some new stuff with the beverage service because that had to change as well. So I know you centralized that beverage service, which is going to, I'm sure, involves that coolers as well, and then also installed self-service drink systems for the guests and staff. So how did you, going from a theater where everything's done behind the scenes now to where the stuff is out front? What kind of challenges or what kind of opportunities did you guys see where you could make it a little more user friendly?
well, I think the self-serve beverage stations. I mean, and this was also part of it, a casino expansion renovation. So those were the self-serve beverage stations were on the casino floor, so the guests could help themselves there. Then within the sports book, I think we kind of took advantage of because the screen curved. There was some spaces, pretty narrow, but
Okay.
behind there, so we took advantage of that, so that we could use those as the wait stations. So, and
Yeah, and I
then,
can't wait for people to see the pictures in the publication of this
mm-hmm.
space are absolutely beautiful. And as we're talking today, we'll put some photos up and do some slides as we're going through the interview because it turned out gorgeous. And you're right, when you're seeing that photo of that big giant screen
You
around
walk in
and
and
then
see that
surrounded by
screen, and
smaller
it's like,
screens.
yeah, yeah. It's almost like the Omni Theater where it's almost
Yeah.
beyond your peripheral vision. So,
And then you're
yeah.
seeing these smaller screens around it, and yet those are big screens too. It's just they look so small compared to this giant
They're not
screen.
2,000 square feet, right?
No,
So,
no, not
yeah,
at all.
yeah.
Now, also the menu changed, obviously, when you're going from, a theater to a sports book. A little bit more um fried foods, a little bit more greasier foods, whatever it might be, typical type pub fare, a little bit higher end. What did you guys have to do to make that changeover for the kitchen and be able to accommodate that kind of menu change as well?
Well, it was, yeah. So the kitchen was not was supporting a different it was a smaller sports bar, so when and then um that turned into a poker room, I think. And then then we got this area to expand the kitchen. So there was certainly a lot of fryers. I mean, they would put in pressure fryers so they could do a great job on chicken sandwich, and then there's the regular fryers. So along with that came an oil management system, both fresh and waste oil. And then they always used water wash hoods, so you could, make sure you could keep the filters clean with all that frying going on there. And it was certainly a much bigger menu than I've seen in other sports bars. So we had some, pantry desserts area involved in there. And there was some last minute challenges. Mike was very diplomatic about handling both in the kitchen and the bar. I think at the last minute they said, "Well, we want to know where do we put our plates?" And we're like, "Plates? This is a sports bar. Everything comes in a basket, right?" "Oh no, we want to have some plated items, so they want to be a little more high end." So he was able to figure out something for that without having to, blow the whole kitchen up. So anyway, we kind of had the same thing on the bar side. you know, um, this was, like I said, this was the second project we did with them. And so Mike had developed this bar layout based on the Tobanellis, where they had everything a certain way. And he had been, I always call this like careful what you wish for, because he'd been waiting for some feedback from Jan on how's that bar station work? We're set them up the same way. Is that okay? And, you know, up until they were about ready to go out to bid, it was okay. And then they said, you know what, we need 48 more inches behind the bar. And there's four stations in there, and we weren't going to get any more space. So it was packed in there pretty good. So again, he was a lot more diplomatic than I would have been. He'd be able to move some things around and find the space they needed. So
Nice. Nice. Now, this has also got some pretty interesting gaming elements integrated throughout the thing too, like slot seating and stuff like that directly into the bar area. So,
Yeah,
you've
there's
done a
in the
lot
in
of
the.
casinos.
Hmm.
I'm curious, Steve, like, how does this compare to other casinos and that you've done or you've been into? And, what did you bring from your past experience, you and Mike, and the other casinos that you've worked on to bring it into this one? Like, what are some of the special nuances or whatever it might have been that you brought into them and said, hey, have you tried this? We've seen this, or, and other things like that.
Well, like you said, it's got what we call bar top gaming in it, so that a normal bar top's about 27 inches deep, and when you go to with a gaming machine, I think it's 3 foot four, so it's almost 40 inches deep.
Oh,
So the
wow.
challenge is always how do you serve somebody a drink, right? So they've already
Yeah.
got a normal bar has got a 12-inch overhang, 24-inch deep equipment. Um, so probably the most concise answer to that is a lot of times architects, designers think, well, if we'll make the bar top not as wide, and they're always trying to get rid of that overhang and say, wait a minute,
Yeah.
the customer's not moving. So if you make it, the bartender's making the drink on that 12-inch overhang, don't make it any shorter because otherwise they'll be,
Right.
leaning way over. So that's a conversation that we have to have every time. It's like,
Okay.
you're not if you're going to make the bar top shorter, it's only going to make it harder for the bartender. The customer is not going to get any closer. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Were there any other tips or tricks that you guys brought in from your experience working with casinos for this one from other places?
Well, I think the other challenge we had is that another thing at the end of the project, they said, we want to serve a yard of beer, so we've got these like, 2 foot tall glasses that we need to find a spot for about, 150 of those. So again, I mean, Mike came up with a pretty clever solution. We always have they had tap beer and, you always have a blank section at the back bar where the beer lines come up. And he said, well, they're not taking up the full depth. So he kind of created almost like a recessed bookshelf in there so they could stack all those yards in there. So, I mean, I would think Mike pretty much pulled about every trick you could to find, that extra 48 inches and then space for those yard tall beer glasses.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, those are hard to handle. I've worked at a bar with those before. They're not the
oh,
easiest things to walk around on.
yeah.
We see a lot of breakage a lot with those.
Yeah, I
Because
don't know if
they
those were
tip and
glass or plastic or,
I would
sometimes,
hope
right? That's,
I hope they did a little bit of plastic because honestly, the
yeah.
glass ones are temperamental to not only serve and to get them, whether you're the bartender or the cocktail waitress taking them out or the waiter, you've got the washing of them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How hot can you get the water to do that? Are do they want them frozen? Because I used to do frozen glasses as well, and so
Oh, frosted, right?
there's a
Yeah.
oh yeah, there's a lot
Yeah.
of technicalities, and those yards get blown out so long, and so they get thinner glass. So
Mhm.
it
They
was
get a little fragile, right?
I, I was always a fan of drinking from them, but never a fan of dispensing them as as the
Right. You
bartender.
would want to be on the receiving end of those, right? Not
Yeah,
not the one to have to fill it. Or I didn't even think about that.
exactly.
Imagining taking them out on a tray, right? How do you keep them from falling
Yeah.
over? Right?
Now,
Yeah.
the other thing with a casino, because it runs all the time too, and sportsbooks run all the time. Tell us a little bit about, and you mentioned it a little bit before, but you brought in a new oil management system with direct connection to the fryers to help with the transfer of oil. Tell our listeners a little bit like why that's so important and what you guys did to help alleviate the cleaning, as much cleaning and all of that to keep things fresh and also safer, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah. In this particular location, it's in the far corner of the casino. So, we had to do, it was sort of like, real short window for the delivery truck to come up. So, anything you could do to sort of, eliminate the stuff that's going to be in that dock area. You didn't have to have a big, the tank for the waste and the fresh oil means you don't have to have a grease dumpster out there. And then also related to the 24-hour operation, um, Mike was able to find space for new interior refrigerator freezers, which would give them, enough storage there to get through a day, right? Because it's really, like I said, it was a really difficult corner of the casino to access from deliveries. You couldn't bring anything across the casino floor to this location.
Right. And it's worked out
Yeah.
well so far?
Yeah, they're really happy with it. I mean, Mike got a chance to visit it when we did the punch list down there, and
Good.
yeah, I think it's been. The other thing about Potawatomi too is the Dominic, the CEO GM, is very very involved. I mean, the whole casino is very involved in the Milwaukee community as well as the Native American community. So um, this facility always gets featured in a lot of social media. So they've
Yeah.
got they we haven't talked about the VIP balcony. They've got a
Yeah.
broadcast booth up there, and so I've seen a lot of things on LinkedIn where they've got visiting celebrities, sports and unrelated to sports coming up there, and they're always taking pictures of them in the VIP
Yeah.
booth with that screen in the back. So
Yeah. Was there anything you guys had to do particularly for that balcony when it comes to food service operations?
yeah, that got added at the late
Yeah.
the last minute too, and they decided they want to have a buffet up there, and how do we squeeze that in there? And I think that's the area that was also structural limitations. So um, how do we put something up there and not be able to have any drains? So I think we had to work a few deals with the plumbing inspector and the health department to say, well, how about if we only do this on certain days?
Yeah.
So there was
Yeah.
some more challenges there. So
Perfect.
yeah.
Um, looking back, is there anything you and Mike would have done differently in the design or implementation, or are you pretty happy with it?
Yeah, I think it turned out pretty well. Like I say, I think I know, both, working with the bar, trying to find that space for those wait stations behind the screen, and working around the existing coolers and entrances. The doors in the exterior were fixed, so he went through a number of iterations of the early plan to, you have a long, skinny space. It always means you're going to have a lot of circulation. So we worked together on a lot of different configurations that to kind of minimize the circulation space and the most usable space. And again, to try to, again, because we're that long, skinny rectangle and you get the interface for the kitchen is here. So he was real careful about, you know, limiting how far the servers had to come in. Make sure they can they get the hot food here, they can get their beverages here. We drop the dish room, so we don't have to drag them all the way to the back of the kitchen to make sure they're out with the guests. So, yeah.
Now, a little bit about your background too. You do, you're known in the industry as do a lot of casinos. You're kind of an expert at it, I would say. You write for a magazine on even behalf of FCSI. So, tell me a little bit about what is it like to design for casinos, working with them, designing for them versus some of the other projects you do, like the beer halls or the restaurants or the K through 12s or whatever else you're going to work on. What is it about casinos that obviously you like the challenge of it, but what are some of the challenges that maybe a designer that's never done a casino would not be ready for or not know about that these are limitations or these are
Y-
the challenges you might have?
Yeah. Well, certainly, as you mentioned, the 24-hour operation, right? So you got to make sure that you've got enough storage in there. And, we were just we're trying to explain this to some architects lately, and came up with the ideas like, okay, so you got the engine. We kind of borrowed this idea from Starbucks. They talk about their little, that whole setup is the engine. It said,
Mm-hmm.
that's got to figure out, how many meals per hour you're going to do, right? And so that means what equipment you need in there, how many people do you need to produce those
Mm-hmm.
meals per hour, and then the other part you got to look at is the gas tank, So it's like if this is going to be 24/7 and we got deliveries as often as we can get there is once a day, so then they got to size that gas tank to make sure that it can do the has enough storage for the total meals per
Yeah.
day. So
Yeah. It's hard to
that's
run out of
probably
produce at 11:30 at night, right? Like,
that's right. Yeah, you can't exactly call Uber Eats or
yeah,
Instacart or
exactly.
something like that, right? And
Yeah.
and
Somebody's
yeah,
running to
and,
the
and
local
nobody
grocery
wants to.
store.
Yeah, you don't want to mess with the guest experience and say, "Oh, that's been 86." I
Yeah.
know it's your favorite. I could see that from your player's card information, but we ain't got it. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
So, yeah.
Exactly.
So I just think that's, and talking about guest experience, I mean, that's what every casino wants to do and to make sure they have a memorable experience. usually people come, they may be frequent guests, but a lot of people are just saying, that's a special occasion. They're
Yeah.
gonna go out. You want to have the restaurants and the bars are a chance for them to take a break from the gaming floor or seeing the show or whatever they're doing. So you want to
Right.
make sure that that's a great experience. So,
Very cool. Very cool.
yeah.
Well, that's all the
So,
questions I got for you today, Steve. So before I let you go, how can the public find out more about you and Rippey Associates?
well, certainly you can look for us follow us on LinkedIn. You can look at our website, rippyassociates.com, and our kitchens at work.
Thank you for joining us for this edition of the Art of Culinary Spaces. We hope this conversation has sparked your creativity and inspired new ideas within the world of food service design and planning. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss out on all of our future podcasts. Stay tuned for our next episode when we explore another groundbreaking project and exceptional design from FCSI members that are transforming the culinary landscape.